And it feels as if we can officially turn the chapter on this Oscar season. I know the Oscars was like 2 weeks by the time that you're seeing this video, but I do not care. I do not care. Let's start this off with, okay, this might be the first time that I truly believe that people were sitting down and being like, you know what, I gotta watch this Oscars. Because if they do not give my beloved Sinners cast everything, I'm going to be very upset. I'm not gonna lie. Deep and down in my heart, they better win from A to Z. I'm not gonna lie to anybody. Bro, I was actively sitting down and watching with so many people so consistently. I was shocked. I was watching as not only was Twitter blowing up, I was hitting up my other friends, be like, oh, what y'all doing? What y'all watching? And they're like, oh yeah, no, I'm watching the Oscars. Since when did you give a fuck about what? Since when did you care about the Oscars? I ain't never seen this many people care about the Oscars. So I'm just glad to see that we all came together to make sure Michael B. Jordan won Best Actor this year. Let's just go ahead. Let's just go in there, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. All right, to start this off, I will say this whole Oscar season was a little bit exhausting because I've forgotten how much campaigning needs to be put into truly winning an Oscars. Because me personally, I thought everyone was like, all right, here is my film, here is my performance, here is my painting, here's my costume design. Do you like it? Yay, no, maybe so. Let's move from there. But it turns out it's literally multiple of millions of dollars, hanging out with a lot of people, shaking hands, kissing babies for the chance to be able to be nominated, not so less even to win. So I will say that also sounds very exhausting. But one thing that I am saying, I want to be the last of it. We need to wind down on the amount of co-stars that come together to pretend to have an affair. If you are going to be flirted on that camera, 9 months from now, I better see a baby. I better see you ruining your life for that co-star. What happened? What happened to back in the days where if they were flirting on camera, it was not to sell a book or a movie or a press release? No. It was to show the world that the love that I was having on that screen, that big screen, was real. Honestly, I was thinking about this the other day. I feel as if... Do folks get into these acting roles just to be misbehaving? Let's really talk about it. Let's really talk about it. Because why do you want to fuck your co-star so badly? And why does everybody need to know that you want to fuck your co-star? I remember when there's a really big debate about using, what was it, the intimacy coordinators or using the dams to be protective and things of that nature. And then some actresses were like, you know what? I feel really comfortable. I feel like we don't even need to do it. First of all, I feel like we're opening a can of Pandora's boxes without realizing what we is asking for. Because what do you mean? Now it's optional. Let's not do this. Let's not ruin the moment. Because I'm watching them get down and dirty on that big IMAX screen, and you're telling me this was all part of marketing? You are actively trying to get the world to go watch that specific scene to make me try and watch this affair on my own time? You're ridiculous. But I will say, this year, the marketing, the connectivity, the amount of people that were going out their way to make content based off of these movies was fantastic. This has been a year of movies that were really fun, that were truly, really fun. I was surprised that we're going to have this many hitters so consistently throughout the year. Because guess what? Sinners was early in the year, and then we just got banger after banger after banger. So I'm liking it. I'm definitely liking it. One of the things I also noticed when it came to the Oscars specifically, there was a lot of internet celebrities that were flooding their way inside the Oscars. And I feel like there's been a consistent deterioration when it comes to journalism already, especially when we are coming into the entertainment industry because of, do folks really want in-depth questions? Or are they just trying to see their favorite celebrities? Oh, wait, let me write that back. Let me take a step back. Or do they just want to see the people that they've been seeing on their phone ask these celebrities conversational points? Because guess what? They all homies. They all cool. They all know each other. It's nearly impossible because even as it feels like there's this consistent looking down on people that are on the internet of this, like, feeling like, well, your guys aren't really like that popular. We're still movie stars and you guys are still like on those like little phones, right? So where do you really compare to us? And guess what? There has been a systematic changing of the way that the internet has been able to infiltrate its way into the mainstream media because of the amount of folks that are on the internet that have millions of supporters, people that are ride and dying. For example, watching Keith Lay. I'm not gonna lie, there's not too many like celebrities I would like to meet. He's definitely one of them. He's one that I would actually want to be like, you know what, tell me about yourself, baby. What you up to? But beyond the point. And it's so I will say I really liked the outfits. I liked how everyone was coming out to really show that they were one of the big dogs. I was liking Ryan Coogler's hair. Fantastic. Bro was putting musical notes in his braids. Honestly, I feel like I'm one of the lead innovators when it comes to putting some braids, trying to pull off something nice and tight. But I really need to step my game up and really put some magic on my head because of that. The ingenuity. And it's funny because I want to learn how to braid hair because I don't want to be taking my or more so I want to be able to braid my daughter's hair without it being a big thing. I need to be able to like know how to do that off rip, right? But I will say the amount of black folk that was at the Oscars this year, I was messing with it. It was cool. It touched somewhere deep in me. It was nice. All right, but I would like to talk about, let's hit some winners. Okay, one battle after another won Best Picture. And I really wanted to hate that selection, but I went and I rewatched it. Acting is one of the few things where the order that you get, even at the highest of levels, you don't lose your talents to be an actor. If anything, it just compounds on itself. Like watching, for example, Denzel in Training Day, comparing it to even Denzel in the highs and the lows. He's still able to hit the notes of the acting prowess. And that's how I was feeling while watching Leonardo DiCaprio. Because he's like, personally for me, top 5 artists all time for me. Or artist, lol. Top 5 actor all time for me personally, because he's able to give this he's able Leonardo DiCaprio is able to make me forget that he is a douche. I'm on the screen cheering for this character. Leonardo DiCaprio seems like what Timothée Chalamet wants to officially overly grab towards. It's the final form of Chalamet has to be Leonardo DiCaprio. That's where it goes. That's just how it is, right? And even as I'm watching One Battle After Next, I liked how quick it was. I didn't like the story was very cover your drink, please. That was the type of vibe that I was getting throughout this whole storyline, because of One Battle After Another is literally about this white dude that was overtly going. He was so horny for this black woman that was fierce and sexual and powerful and makes him feel something, really dominates him. And then guess what? He falls in love with her. But he's so mad because he's a white man and he's losing the powers of internal power of whiteness by being with this black woman. And then he goes and joins the equivalent of Illuminati, KKK, I don't know, potato, right? He goes and joins this club, but they're like, we would love you on this club. You're a warmongering war hero. We need you. You are destroying the community, removing and pledging and removing all of the riffraff from our communities. We need you in our club. And then they ask him, you be smashing black women? You like the blacks? And he's like, oh, my one thing. And then he goes and tries to kill everybody that was involved. What are we doing? He goes and like, you know what? Where's my daughter? I need to kill her myself. That's all the movie is. He goes out of his way to try and kill that girl. And guess what? They pull back and smoke him. They come back and smoke him like they already knew that they were going to. Once they found out that that's what he was into, right? But beyond the point. Did I feel like they were a little bit too horny with with Tiana Taylor's character? A little bit. Was Tiana Taylor fantastic in the movie? She was cool for her, what was it? I think 12 minutes, 14 minutes. Not the point. Chase Infinity. Giving us Chase Infinity? Yeah, we might be onto something. That might be one of them ones. I'm not gonna lie. Let's add more black greatness into the mainstream, because there's no going back once you drop a movie like that. That's all I'm gonna say. There's no going back. But I'm still saying I'm gonna say this once. We need a sitcom that revamps Girlfriends from the 90s and bring it to today. We need that type of cast running it today. I'll be there. I'll watch it. Let me be the what is it? The old is he an older brother? Is that what it is? Beyond the point. I would like to be on a show like that. Cast this guy. I'm not gonna lie. When I was watching Sinners, I was very worried. I saw all them nominations. I was looking around. I was like, they're probably going to do us like they did Marty Supreme. They're going to do us like that. They're going to do us exactly like that. I thought the Marty Supreme was going to be us for a moment. I was very worried. But we ended up going home with some gold of our own. Fire. Nice. Lovely. I'm watching Ryan Coogler won original picture. Michael B. Jordan lead actor. Autumn Durald Arkapaw for cinematography, and Ludwig winning for best score. Fantastic. They was pulling up with getting them dubs. And the thing is, every single time you see Ryan Coogler run it up, him, yeah, a big hug every single time. And for every win, the sigh of relief across the whole of the Sinners cast was, you could just see it and feel it. Do I think Delroy or Miles should have won something? Maybe. I think so, but that's beyond the point. But my main thing with Sinners is the cultural relevance of a movie like that does not come often, especially when we're in a downturn when it comes to movie viewership or the amount of people that even care about movies, and the way that they were able to tell the black story in so many different ways throughout this whole film, and the interconnectiveness of so many other cultures within the movie was fantastic, and you don't see that often. And it always felt like a stab in the back when I was watching the journalistic explanations and the coverage that was coming from this movie of Sinners, because of the amount of articles that were like, oh, Sinners didn't do that well. They only sold $83 million. Only. They fell short in the box office. It made less money its second week. Just going out of its way to undercut the greatness of this movie. I'm sitting here and I'm watching, and I'm recognizing, first of all, why are y'all trying to blackball Ryan Coogler? What are we doing? What are we actually doing? And It always just reminds me of this, like, work twice as hard to get it always just reminds me of the working twice as hard to get half the amount of credit. And it's infuriating when you are actively watching folks trying to downplay greatness, and the amount of critiques that I'm watching of it being literally summed down to, well, I think you just do not understand it. I think that's just what we're gonna be able to walk away from, because of being able to tie the cultural relevance of music and how it plays a part in the interconnectedness of everyone around you and the community at large, and watching how it will be taken if you do not protect it, and the way that they're able to also mentioning the church and adding up different races and setting up the fact that the communal effort to help one another might be the only thing that will save you when everybody is actively trying to take. One of the things that I was peeping while watching, you know what? I watched Oscars for Sinners, so we're gonna sit here and talk about Sinners. I'm so sorry. But beyond that, next point that I was having, Michael B. Jordan. You're that guy. I'm so sorry. You are. I'm so sorry that anybody ever doubted you. And honestly, watching when they called him up to win it all, to win the big one, win that big Oscar for lead actor, the surprise and the shock. He looked like he was actively holding himself back from trying to scream and cheer, because deep down in your heart, you know that they were going to pass you up, even though that you objectively had the best role, had the best performance of everybody that you were going against. To sit there and truly take the moment to be like, you know what? I made it. And then he gets on that stage, and the only thing that he does is deflect. He says, shouts out everybody. Shouts out Coogler. Shouts out the cast. Shouts out everyone that was nominated. Everybody else deserved it even more than I did. I'm just happy that I'm able to stand up here and actually win it. He's better than me. He's better than me. Don't let me win anything real. The world gonna know. You all gonna see it. Jumping up and down, pointing at people, grabbing them by their shirt, shaking a baby. I'm gonna let the world know. And as I was watching, I don't know how he wouldn't have won it. I'm not gonna lie to you, because we could talk about the groundswell of people that were writing for him. We could talk about the fact that he was two different characters, and it's not like when, because keep in mind, this was the year of the clone, right? No. This was the year of the double role type of thing, where an actor would play two different people. And when you're watching Sinners, you actively feel like they're two separate characters. You go there and you forget that it's the same guy that you are watching, because of bros talking about stuff like, yeah, I changed my smile. My shoes were a full-size short, so I'm able to be high on my toes. What are we talking about? What's going on? I'm changing my accent. I'm changing my back. I'm standing different. My tremor is different. What are we even talking about? How is that even for a conversation? But I will say, I will not let the world try and sit here and act like they knew that he was going to win. I was watching people look me in the eye and say that he was a bad actor. People were looking me in the eye and telling me he's not a good actor. He just have abs. Oy. You want to know what's funny? I was one of those guys starting out, right? I definitely did not think that he was the greatest of actors. I didn't think he had that much range. But then I went and I watched some of his stuff, and I realized it might be high time that we give him an Oscar-worthy film to actually show off what he could do on that big screen. That's my main thing. And it kind of makes me it kind of it makes me remember the dichotomy of what it means to be an actor and the different ways that you're able to show up in a role, because of you have a lot of guys that are pigeonholed into being like a goofy character, or a side character, or a supporting role that never is allowed to shine not too much. You better just breathe. And there's some other actors that are literally, they're only in comic relief. They're only in comic relief type of what is it? Positions? Actors? Comic relief roles. Yeah, they're only in comic relief roles where this just ha 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 ha. But if you actually give them the chance to cook, we might be in a different world. That's all I'm gonna say. You need to give folks the chance to actually eat, because that's where you get the chance to see, are you a real actor or are you a bozo? Let's really talk about it. Are you even good for real? Ryan Coogler, bro, so black. Ryan Coogler's so black, bro. Oh, I love it. I fucking love it. From the Bayside accent to the way that he uses certain phrases, even to the, I'm gonna talk about. All I'm gonna say is, I'm so glad he put down that football. I cannot lie to you, because we have far too many black men that are out here destroying their brains when they should be doing something creative. Paint me a picture. Don't throw your head on the ground. What are we doing? What are we doing? Bro, watching all the different sound bites from Ryan Coogler this year really made me laugh up a storm, because there's not too many times when you watch a full grown man not only geek out but say the most introspective things in a way that you never knew you were going to hear them, and that is what I love. But I'm gonna hit on this point real quick and then I'll move on from the some Sinners. I'm so glad that this movie did as well as it did, because of you are not allowed at all to fail when you are a black person inside this game. Because guess what? If Sinners would not have made its money back, Ryan Coogler might not never direct none ever again. If Michael B. Jordan fell on his face for this role, if he wasn't able to truly bring the folks out to go watch him, this might be his last hurrah. He might go back to doing Madea movies. This is one of them ones where he needed to lock in, or less he might just go right back to doing them Madden games, to doing 2K, doing other types of acting, because once you flop, you might just be flopped for good. They ain't never putting $100 million in your pocket ever again. So, fire. And then when he swung by In and Out, that was a great victory lap in my opinion. Just the best burger with the best actor, just chilling with the fans. Nothing crazy, just chill. A very calm suit. He didn't even do too much on the suit. He let the fit really sit on him. So I said that's one of them ones. So, all right. Ooh, I will say, somebody mentioned that there should be a new category where it comes to new actors. I want to get involved in that. I love to get involved with that. Miles Canton, I need to see like FOMO. I need like FOMO movies from you. Damson, please lock it. Please. Make something. Go shoot something. Go be the league somewhere else, bro. I need you to hoop. I need another TV show. I need you to hoop. I'm not gonna lie, because what they did to you in F1, I needed more lines. That was not supposed to be a Brad Pitt movie. I was not there for Brad. Why you need to cook? Because Snowfall cannot hold you forever. I rewatched it again. One thing I will say about Snowfall, I might be very easily convinced, but I was watching Snowfall like last year, and I was like, you know what? No more lineups. Let me just get this mini fro. No more lineups, and I will never get a taper again. That's what I was thinking in my head. But Everyone needs to lock in. Chase Infinity, you're gonna do great things. That's gonna be one of them ones.